filming the intro in my bedroom today because my living room is full of balloons with the number 3 on it because yesterday it was my party and lighting's really bad in here, isn't it? But we're just gonna have to kind of just roll with it. Sorry if it's a bit dark, I'll try and lighten it up in editing. But yesterday I've lived here for 3 years, so I like to celebrate by myself every year. Me and my toy animals like Snoops had a little party. If I've got a picture, I'll insert one. But this is going to be one of my random videos of I've got loads of leftover projects that need finishing, and the only way that I can motivate myself to finish them is by putting a camera on my face. So that's what we're going to do. So here I've got a collection of all these different projects that I was like, right, let's just compile all. They're all similar enough that I'll be able to make just a random. Oh my god, we can see Koala again. He's been quite a lot of my videos lately. I've got enough here to kind of make a video of a decent length and for it to not be all over the place. So right, this is a box, obviously from Build-A-Bear. It's just been flattened, but I can put it back to normal. It's what Fletcher came in. I don't know where Fletcher is right now. I think he's in the living room. And I've always wanted to colour one of these. Like when I was a kid, I just didn't have the concentration or probably the fine motor skills, is that? To be able to colour one of these boxes in its entirety, really. And like to trace, because they come with like, they're all in blue. So what I've been doing, I did start it off camera. I've done 90% of the outlining. So we've just got some here left to do. But we've done all this side and I did start to colour it as well. But I was like, you know what, I want to record the rest of this because watching this back as a time lapse is going to be so satisfying. Even did the roofing bits, which was kind of time consuming as well. So we've done that. So we're just going to colour it. I got these pens from Asda. They were very, very cheap. They were like £2 or something like that. Does it have a price on the back of them? No. Asda markers 12-pack, black/orange. Well, black. I don't even think... Is there black in that? I don't know. I'm not using the black for the outline of it. I'm using a permanent marker. I think I just don't know where it's gone. I'm going to guess it's in my pencil case over there. But so these are the markers we're using to colour because I know if I run out, these are cheap and close enough to my house that I can just go and buy another pack of them. You know what I mean? And so that's the first project. I don't know what order I'm going to do these in, by the way. It's just going to be as and when I feel like. I might do bits of that and then do bits of another one. I don't know yet. I don't know how I'm going to do them, but they are all going to be finished by the end of this video. If they're not finished, then it's not the end of the video, is it? Next, we've got this, which seems a bit random. I don't know if or how I can film this, but this is a set of children's cross-stitch, or people who just like, well, 6+, so older children sort of thing. Cross-stitch with 2 fun designs. I used to do these all the time when I was 6 and above, because they used to sell them. There was this shop. Well, there still is this shop in my hometown, and they just don't sell many good things anymore. It's kind of become like a discount store, but it always has been a discount store, but I don't know, but it used to sell really cool toys. I don't know if it's just because I'm now not at a toy age, but the toys there are now mid. But they used to sell these like 1-packs of these things, and I used to really, really enjoy doing them. I remember like my mum used to take me there on Saturdays and get me one, and all that sort of stuff. And I saw this, so I was in Blackpool for my birthday. There's a vlog somewhere of me ranting for the whole 3 hours of so I got this from the arcade, like with my tickets, because there was nothing else I wanted, and I was just not in the best headspace because about 3 days prior I had a bit of a wobble, as we like to call it, so I wasn't in the best headspace. But this, it seemed like fun to do. But it's been under my bed since, well, March, April time, and it's now, well, as I'm filming this, it's June next week, so as we can see, I really, really rushed to do this, didn't I? So I thought, if I can film it, if I can kind of angle the camera down, we can film it, because that might be another fun thing to watch. So it's like, it comes with like a plastic board. I don't know if you can see that little picture in the circle there, but it's like a little plastic board. It's obviously all children friendly, and it goes with like a little plastic little needle and yarn, wool, cotton, don't really know. And you just, it's quite satisfying because you can't really go wrong with them. Anyway, so that's that. Lastly, we've got what looks like to be a lot of suspicious little paper bags. But inside of these, by the way, sorry about the wind. Can't close my window properly, my skylight properly, because I just don't have the strength right now. And you can hear the wind because it's all of a sudden gone from like 20 degrees to like 10 and windy, because I live in England. So these are all wooden letters, right? I think I've done a few of them. I did a few of them ages ago, like at the start of the year. And I just never got around to finishing them. So I kind of like made little envelopes out of paper, because at the same time I painted some of them, I kind of put them all into piles. I must have had some idea in my head, but now I can't remember the idea. And I put which colours I wanted with which letters of these little wooden letters in the packs with them. I can't remember what it was for. I don't know if I just did it randomly or if I was planning on making something. But can I remember? No. So we've got some ribbon in here for some reason. But these ones are the ones that are done. Don't know what it spells. But we've got a W, we've got an S, which is blue. The W isn't double-sided. I may want to go back around that and double-side it if we've still got that purple handy. The rest of them, though, are double-sided. Like the B is double-sided. Don't know why I kind of gave up on the W. But every other one, or the pink isn't as well, actually. The green is double-sided. The oranges are double-sided. So there's loads of letters here which have been painted. I may want to go back around them, especially ones that don't have the backs on them. Like the back's painted. But the rest of them, right, what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, 6. So they must be rainbow colours. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple is what I'm imagining. But then we've got pink. So I don't know. So I'm going to my parents today for dinner anyway, because it's Sunday. I go every other Sunday, and the other Sundays I clean. So I will get, like, she has like my mum has like these little freezer bags, like these little plastic bags, and we will transfer them from these weird little paper things into those freezer bags so I can actually see what I'm doing. So I did kind of just make these envelopes for them because I didn't want to get, I was adamant that I wasn't going to get them like mixed up. I wanted these specific letters to be this specific colour. So in each pack, if you guys can see that, we've got a tube of paint, just a tube of paint with like the colour on it, with a selection of wooden letters, like unpainted wooden letters, but I was adamant that those letters were going to be blue, and so on and so forth. So we've got blue, we've got, they open very easily. We've got blue, we've got light blue, which apparently I've already been using, as we can see. Again, roughly the same amount of letters in each pack, if we're going to call it that. We've got light blue, we've got, like, they open so easily, they kind of just, what colour's in this one? I'm going to guess orange. Imagine if it was orange. I actually can't get it open, let alone see through it, Alex. Can we somehow get this thing open, please? Please let me in. Okay, right, let me in. No, that's orange. I swear I didn't actually know that, I just guessed. Again, same amount of letters in the orange one. My next guess is going to be, what other colours were there? Purple? Was there a purple? Did I mix the purple? I don't know if the purple was an actual colour or not. Oh, we've got yellow. We've got yellow. And then again, there doesn't seem to be as many letters in there, but maybe that's just my eyes. But again, there's about 20 letters, I'd like to say, in each pack. You'll see them more through the time lapse and then once they're done. So we've got yellow, orange, light blue, dark blue. There's got to be a green, hasn't there? Have we had a green? We haven't had a green, have we? There's got to be a green. And I'm going to guess one of them's got to be red. So we're kind of a rainbow without red. What colour are you? Or is that orange? Or is that, what colour is that? That looks more orange than the other one. The other one looks more like a browny, yellowy grey? No, like orange, but like not a vibrant orange, more of like a yellowy orange. This one's got to be red, hasn't it? So far, none of these colours are matching those other colours. What colour is this? Green. So we've got a green, like a khaki green colour, but they're the colours I wanted apparently. They're like, I got those paints in a set and I didn't keep all the colours. They're the only colours I kept. I didn't keep a white, didn't keep a black, just those colours is what I kept. So what I may do, unless I figure out what these ones were for, unless I'm like, oh yes, these were for something. I can't really remember, but these colours, did we have a, like that seems like the lighter blue, doesn't it? But like we've got red in here. Unless one of those was red, because that looks like a very vibrant red if you ask me. Maybe that red is it this one? Were you red? Or you're blue. Were you red? Were you red? Or you're yellow. Where did the red one go? If it was indeed red. Now, this is why I want to put them in clear bags, because otherwise I've got to keep opening them. So, is that can't be the same colour, can it? I mean, it looks more similar on camera. Apparently I've used this. Oh, you know what it might be actually. If we look inside, it looks very, very similar to that. So I'm guessing that's the red one. So we have got red. What I might do, if I've got colour left over once these ones have painted, obviously we're going to prioritise these ones, then I may go back around and paint them, because we don't seem to have a pink, do we? Did we have a pink? I don't think we had a pink. I don't know. But they're the projects anyway that we're going to do. How did paint already get on the floor? A chip of paint. That's going to go in there. So while I'm at my parents' house, I will get some clear bags and put them in clear bags so we don't have to keep going. Even though they are just going to get... I'm probably going to do like one bag at a time. I'm already not going to mix colours. I'm probably going to do one bag, make sure they're completely done, and then put them to the side, and then do the other. I'm fairly sure I'll be able to mix them all together once they're painted. I can't remember, like trying to decipher past Alex's decisions when I can't remember a thing. It feels like I'm in some sort of weird fever dream, actually. It does, everyone. But hope you will enjoy this really random video. Like, my craft videos for some reason do actually alright, considering it is just me finding random crafts in my house to do. You know what I mean? But maybe they're therapeutic for people to watch, as therapeutic as they are for me to do. You know what I mean? Oh my god, I really need to close that window properly, don't I? I will get to that at some point today. But I have got a bus to catch in 10-15 minutes, and I still haven't packed my bag to go to my parents' house yet. I'm not staying overnight. I mean, I might have to next week, because I've been having an issue with my water, like my actual water in the house. It just won't go hot. And I did mention this in one of my other videos, but again, I don't know when these videos come out, because I batch record like 4 videos in like the span of like 2 weeks, and then I release them over the course of some months. But yeah, I've been having issues late May. I have issues with getting hot water in my house. No one else seems to be having an issue with it, because it hasn't been like emailed towards that. It's like a building issue, so it must just be a my house issue. So I will need to get that. And like, yeah, I've had warm water but no hot water, so I have to be getting like tepid cold showers every day. Hence why I'm not probably looking my best, because I'm in there for about 2 seconds. Because I can't stand cold showers, despite what these people who wake up at 3 o'clock and dump their faces in cold bottles of water, cold cups of water, bowls, that's the word I was looking for, cold bowls of water with ice in it, doesn't make me feel any happier, boys and girls and non-binary pals, you know what I mean? Like, so I will have to get that fixed. I just really, really don't like people coming around to my house, or phone calls, or anything like that. Really, really scares me, because mental illness, anxiety, not really too sure. But I hope everyone enjoys watching me do craft. It's just craft, just miscellaneous crafts actually. And I will chime in once they're all done. Hopefully I have enough paint for all my letters, hopefully. Fingers crossed. There seems to be enough paint. And I will chime back later. Well, it won't be today. Don't know how long these will take me. I'll give myself like a week or 2. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, so I'm currently doing this voice note about a week after I've actually finished all these projects, which took quite a while actually. Well, that box took a while. It doesn't look like it did, but it was filmed on multiple days because I decided to go on a walk in the middle of it all, and I talk more about it in the outro, where I have significantly shorter hair because I got my hair cut and I gave them a picture, right? I gave the hairdressers a picture, literally hairdressers, like for women only, right? Went to the hairdressers, I showed them a picture of what I wanted, which was pretty much the exact same haircut I got back in October, but a bit messy. I said I want it quite long, left quite long, so I can mess it up. And you'll just see at the end of this video, oh my God. Anyway, it's better than it to be cut short and for it to grow into a nice length than for it to be too long. You know what I mean? But yes, here I am colouring in the Build-A-Bear box, which I don't really know what to do with it. I got it when I got Fletcher on April 1st, the day after my birthday. We were going to go on my birthday, we as in me and my mum. We were going to go on my birthday, but I just wasn't doing great that day. When am I ever doing great, though? If you hear that noise, that squeaking, it's actually a bat on Minecraft, because I've currently got Minecraft open, because I'm playing Minecraft, and I need my things to burn in my furnaces, so I was like, keeping it open while I do this, kill two birds with one stone, you know what I mean? And I'm currently actually writing my to-do list. I've got my pen and paper here as well for tomorrow, so as today is Sunday the 8th of June as I'm making this, and hopefully can get this uploaded by either tonight or early hours tomorrow morning. Depends what time I get to go to sleep and how long this takes me, because I take a lot of breaks in doing these voiceovers, because this is like 17 minutes of just talking and I always run out of things to talk about or whatever. But these are actually quite good pens, actually. I did run out of the yellow. I do talk about it, I think, on the outro, where all the pens were fine. None of them ran out apart from the yellow, because I did all the paneling, you see, like all the background, I do it all in yellow. And I really thought I only had a bit left to do. I thought I could have done it all with one yellow, but no, the pen ran out when I only had like a hand, if you put like your hand on it, that much left to do. How have I got a pen on my hand already? I literally just got out of the shower. Shut up, Bat. But I'm writing my to-do list with a purple pen, and it's a bit leaky because it's old. But no, I had to go out on I think it was a week ago actually. I think it was last Saturday. So today's Sunday, so like over a week ago, and I had to go out, God knows what time in the morning, to buy a new yellow pen. But I think I coloured it quite well. I based it off I don't know if anyone ever played not the PlayStation, actually, the other Nintendo DS, like the original Nintendo DS, the first one that came out. They had like a Build-A-Bear game out for it, where I don't know why I found it fun, because looking back now, it's probably the most boringest game ever. Like, you couldn't die in it, or there was no adventure to it. It was literally just you got to adopt a bear, but you only got to choose out of like, I think there was a dog, a cat, a frog, and like an actual teddy bear, and you could dress it, but you could only choose so many clothes. And you had to stuff it yourself, and then you had to like sew it yourself by moving the stylus from one side of the screen to the other side of the screen. And it was just a very boring game. And then you got given this house, this Build-A-Bear condo, as they called it, and just made it food, and that was really it. And played this weird football game, if I remember correctly. I don't know, but I didn't know what colour the condo was, so I just based it off of my memory of that, which had, all I knew, it had a blue roof and a yellow panel, and I think a red door. So that's the best I could have done, because I wasn't going to Google what colour is the Build-A-Bear Workshop Bear's condo. I don't know if anyone else remembers talking about Build-A-Bear, actually. They used to have like, I don't know what's called, but on the birth certificates, like when I got Fletcher's birth certificate, I was quite annoyed that I would have thought, because Flash is gone now, is it like Adobe Flash or whatever it's called, they don't have games like this anymore, like games like Club Penguin and Bin Weevils, and this, as I was just about to talk about, this Build-A-Bear game, and I forgot what it was called, but it was like very Club Penguin-esque, very Bin Weevils-esque. You played online with other people, but you got given like your own little house. Was it a Build-A-Bear? It was a Build-A-Bear game, and you used to have to ride on this train, and there was like different little places you could go to. It was very, I don't really know. I didn't play it as much as I played games like Bin Weevils. I was never a Club Penguin person. I don't think I ever played Club Penguin. I think I played it once, actually. unless I'm telling complete and utter porcupines, unless my unless my memory is lying to me, I'm fairly sure like the little puffles were they in Club Penguin, the little puffles. I'm fairly sure they were a Happy Meal toy many years ago. Can't really remember, but I'm fairly sure many years ago you could get like a very cheaply made little puffle key ring, right? And they all came with different colours and Happy Meals. And I think there was a code on that where you could get like that puffle or an outfit for or something for a Club Penguin puffle, if that's what they were, if they were off Club Penguin. And I think I literally like started playing the game just because of that. But then I got quickly bored of it because I was a Bin Weevils person, which is quite weird because I was never really into like anything else that was like Bin Weevil-y. Like, I'm fairly sure, wasn't the game like a Nickelodeon game, or am I making that up? I don't know, but I was never into anything else like that. I was more of a Disney Channel person. But I can just the vibe of Bin Weevils at least gave me more of a Nickelodeon vibe. I'm fairly sure they even had like a Nickelodeon magazine in there, didn't they? And you could like subscribe. I don't know, I could be getting mistaken with something else. But they used to have a Build-A-Bear version of this many years ago. I forgot what it was called. But you'd create like a character and you'd carry a little bear in your backpack. And where I'm getting at was, when you used to go to build the actual Build-A-Bear workshop, when you had like the yellow certificates, because all the certificates are like white now, they don't have much colour on them all. I think the logo is, but I don't know because I've put Fletcher's under my bed now. Or it's in the drawer with the rest of my papers and stuff, I don't know. But it used to have like, it used to be like yellow and blue, I think it looked a bit like the condo, I'm not really too sure. But you used to get like this code on the birth certificate and you type it in and then you could have your real life bear that you made in the game with you. And I just thought it was really sad that they've got rid of all that. Like, you would think in the age of like connecting the real world into online and connecting on the online world into real life, you would think more than ever they would have things like that for kids, because kids are more than ever now are on computers and on, I know that Adobe, they got rid of these games because Adobe Flash is no longer a thing, but you would think if we're creating literally robots and ChatGPT who can literally do all your homework for you and stuff, you would think that they would have remade these games, things like Bin Weevils and Club Penguin and Moshi Monsters. Wasn't that another one? I don't know, but you would think they would have created them. I don't know. Sorry if there was a cut in audio. I just had to take a break for a moment. But here I am painting the letters yellow. So we've moved on. I spoke so long that we've moved on now from the Build-A-Bear condo. Finished it. Fantastic. You'll see it more in the outro if you make it that long. If you do, thank you very much for watching all my videos. I know they can get a bit boring. I always and ahhing whether to put music or not over this, but I always decide not to, just because I don't know. Firstly, I don't have the premium version of the app that I use to make these videos, and you have to have the premium. But I can easily get the premium if people would prefer music. I don't really know. As I've said in all these videos now, I treat these as a bit of like a little podcast thing where I don't really make vlogs anymore where I like update people daily on what I'm doing, or weekly or monthly or whatever. So I kind of use this to just talk about what I've been up to, but I haven't really been up to much actually. Got my hair cut. I did start, I think I've mentioned it a few times, actually started a TikTok for my poetry, but I did one the other day, which was a poem pretty much about how the doctors for years and years, I was with a very corrupt doctor's surgery, and I call it corrupt not because they're bad per se, but because they're just really bad for mental illness. And I did end up having to make an official complaint against one of the doctors. And every single doctor there, I've seen every single doctor there. It's the doctors of my hometown. So I'd seen them all a million times over ever since the day I was born. Until my, obviously, mid-20s. I was 25 when I changed doctors, I was 25. I hadn't turned 26 yet. So, for a quarter of a century, I was with these people. Century, 100 years? Yes, because cent is $100 is $1. 100 cents is $1. Yeah, okay. That's how I remember it. And I ended up having to put an official complaint in against one of the doctors because it said in my notes that I had a can't be bothered attitude, because I was literally really, really struggling when I went there. And obviously I still am. Everyone who watches my channel regularly knows that I struggle a lot. And all those doctors ever did was I kept telling them, there's something wrong in my head, there's something wrong in my head. And as of recording this, I don't know when this video is going to come out, but hopefully by the time this video comes out, I will have actual answers. But in the meantime, I obviously moved house and I moved out of that area. So I eventually left that doctor's after making a complaint against them, and I moved to the doctor's near my house then, because my mum has to help me even in the doctor's because I really struggle with things like that. And so my mum now comes up and picks me up from my house, and it's literally 2 minutes away from my house, and we go to the doctor's together as I need a support there. And so they were able to transfer me to my area's mental health team, which for what took my hometown's area 4 years, took my town, I think I got a letter within the same week, and it took them about a week or two to see me, just for an initial consultation, which took my last hometown 4 years. Now, I've moved to a very busy area. I'm on the cusp of a city, and so we thought it was going to take even longer than that. Like, when they said, we'll have to transfer Alex over to the new area, we thought it was going to take forever because of how busy everywhere is. You know, I lived in a tiny little village in my own hometown, so it was it was a town, and then the town hall closed, so then everyone was like, is it a town now, is it a village? It says village, it's a market village, so I don't really know. Either way, it's small, everyone knows everyone sort of thing. So we thought, if that's going to take that long, and there's hardly anyone are in that area, then you would think, but no. And so they're now suspecting, as of May, June time, 2025, they're suspecting dissociative identity disorder. And my mum thought this, we thought something along those lines, just because of things that I've been dealing with for as long as I can remember, really, which I have repressed for many years because I was scared. And, I've had every test done. I've been to a place in a city near me that deals with like brain injuries and things like that, because we thought there was something like really physically serious wrong, like maybe a tumour or something like that. And so I'd had the brain scans, I'd had all the tests, because I was just, my memory I felt like I had amnesia, and it was really scary. Ever since I hit my 20s, really, it got really bad, but I'd been experiencing it to a worrying level ever since I was about 17. And obviously, ever since I was like 16, 17, when I was 17, I was diagnosed with agoraphobia, and I stopped going out. And so my whole life all of a sudden became online, which in a way made it easier for me because everything was documented. Everyone I spoke to, there was text. So if there was something I didn't remember, I kind of just scrolled up my texts. I used to save even when I spoke to people on Snapchat, I'd save all the messages. I still pretty much do now to this day. So I was never really dealing with anyone other than my parents face to face anymore. It wasn't until I hit my 20s when I started dealing with people face to face again. And even to this point now, there's only been my parents and one other person who I've been with face to face over a course of so many weeks or whatever. And so I've kind of been able to just brush it under the rug. But then when I hit like my mid-20s, like 23, 24 and 25, and I'm now 26, it kind of got to a point where I moved out, obviously, so I'm living independently, and I've flooded my kitchen, I've left the oven on, I've left my doors unlocked. It got to a point where it was completely unsafe for me to, and even I don't see a therapist. They say I need to be in a better place mentally to see a therapist, but I'm currently under this like diagnostic thing right now, and it's been like a 4-session long thing over the course of about 2 months, where they're trying to, it's like with a psychiatrist and all those people, and even they say that I shouldn't really be living alone, but they can understand why I am, because my home life was fine. My parents are fantastic. I'm really grateful for them. It just wasn't, I clash a lot with my dad. We are both on the spectrum. We're both autistic. I don't know if spectrum is still the politically right word to use. We both have autism, and we both prefer our own space, and obviously it was a small house, so I do enjoy being by myself, and I do enjoy my own company. It's just, it got to a point where I really needed to find out what was wrong and get the correct treatment for it. Anyway, where I'm going with this was all the doctors were doing was just giving me sertraline, which is an antidepressant,
and sending me on my way and telling me that I just need to stick with it. So I wrote this poem about it, and if people want to check it out, it's alex.poetry or alex's.poetry.kiss, I think. It's either alex.poetry.kiss with a kiss as in an X, or Alex's, all the one word, ALEXS.poetry.x. One of those things, and it's a poem that starts like, they say you're just sad, Alex, but this will help you feel right. And I posted it, and I got nearly 10,000 views and nearly 1,000 likes, and it just really touched my heart. Not even in a good way. In a good way, yes, I'm really grateful for those people, but kind of like 1,000 people not watched it, but like liked it. Like nearly 10,000 people watched it, nearly 1,000 people resonated with it to some degree. And it's kind of sad that so many people are feeling like that, on how the mental health system has left me feeling down and left us all feeling like down and let us down, pretty much. I don't know, it just kind of made me sad that we shouldn't have to live that way. We shouldn't have to feel so ignored and all that. But anyway, as you can see, this is a really nice green colour. I didn't really like the orange colour because, I don't know, it had like weird black streaks in it, and no matter what I did, even though it was like clear, there was no like black paint in it or anything, or it just, I don't really know why it looked so dirty. I tell people more about it in the outro, but I don't really know. But this green colour is quite nice, and the blue colour was quite nice as well. And I am currently, after I've done this, I'm working on 6 little paintings to go with the big Coke bottle picture I made in a video. Oh, God. Must be either early 2024 or late 2023, or maybe mid 2023. Can't actually remember when I did that. No, it was 2023, wasn't it? Yeah, it must have been 2023, because I was staying at my parents' house a lot. Then I still lived here, but I was staying at my parents' house a lot. I remember painting a lot of those Coke bottles in my bedroom at my parents' house, sort of thing. Anyway, I am really sorry for babbling on so much, but this is the last little stretch now where I don't really know why I'm sorting out, because I ended up just putting them all into one little bag together anyway, and I put them under my bed because I don't really have anything to do with them once I've done this. I don't really have any plan for them right now, but I'm just seeing what letters I have of each colour, because I don't have every letter of every colour, because it just didn't work out that way when I was separating them back when I originally got these letters. But yeah, hope you enjoyed.
No, because every time I look at myself in like the camera or in a mirror, my head looks tiny and my body looks massive. I cut all my hair off. I did do it actually, really spontaneous decision. I'm not taking my hat off because they actually really messed up my hair, and I don't hate it. I prefer it shorter, just not this short. I prefer it. I'll put a picture here of my ideal hair length, really. And I like it when my fringe goes to the side, because it bouncing around my eyes is a sensory nightmare for me anyway. Didn't end up doing the cross stitching. I took it out the box, took one look at it, realised that the pattern wasn't on the ones I used to do. It was like a piece of like canvasy fabric, and the crosses were like inked on, like painted onto the actual canvas. This was like, I should have, I think I put it back onto my bed. It was like just a piece of plastic with a cardboard stencil thing. It wasn't even a stencil, it was just a cardboard picture. I was like, I'm just not even going to do that. But we did colour the box, actually. We did finish the box ages ago, actually. I have been doing bits and pieces here and there. I was a bit spontaneously cut all my hair off because I was having a bit of a wobble, but when am I not? I think it's quite good. I did have to buy a whole new pack of pens because I was like, I said at the beginning of this video, it's okay if I need to get more pens because they're quite cheap. £1.70 I think they are actually. But it got to a point where I had only got like a little bit, you probably see it in the footage of me trying to colour it, just because there was literally just a bit left. And my pen was running out, and so I left it upside down all night, hoping that it would just be just fine in the morning. It just wasn't. So I had to go out at like whatever time on like a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning, can't really remember. I think it was last Saturday. Today's Friday, so like nearly a week ago. I got my hair cut, not yesterday but the day before, And then I went for a walk. No, everyone, I went for a walk on Monday. It was an absolute nightmare, but I am determined to finish it. I got lost. That was the thing. So I got the bus. No, I didn't get the bus actually. I tell a big fat lie. I got the train to a town near me, and there's this nature trail that I used to do that runs from a town near me right through loads of towns, right through my hometown, and then it carries on to another town, right? It's about, I don't know, like 20 miles long, maybe 15 miles long, something like that. And when I was a kid, like a teenager, me by myself, I walked it 10 years ago, and that's why I wanted to do it specifically this year, was I walked from my hometown to the town I actually live quite close to now, in February of 2016. I remember the day. I was very, very worried about somebody in my life, and the way I dealt with things then was just put AirPods, earphones, because we are going back 10 years, was to put earphones in and just walk and walk and walk and walk. And I hadn't done the walk since. I used to do it a lot as a teenager with my friend I've become estranged to now for the past 9 years, I'd like to say. 9 years. Holding this box, I could. And we used to do the walk all the time, and then I did the walk again when I was 16, then kind of fell out with everyone local to me, or I became estranged to them for whatever reason. And I just never did the walk again. A year later, I got diagnosed with microphobia, and I just didn't go out much after that. And I was going to say now I'm in a better place mentally, but we both know that's a big fat lie. We all know that's a big fat lie, actually. But I woke up on a Monday, and I knew I was going to do it on Monday. Like I'd said to myself the week prior, I've got to do it on Monday because it's raining the rest of the week. And it's been raining the rest of the week, so the weather forecast on iPhones is A-OK correct. But I woke up on Monday, and I did forget for a split second. And then I was like, oh, it's today, isn't it? And I did sit for a while, and I didn't leave my house till about 12 p.m. And I actually had to get the train, to this town to then, because I wanted to walk it backwards. I just thought it was really poetic to walk it backwards, like going back in time to kind of like, but anyway, I ended up doing it. I was in a lot of pain, and I did get lost, and so my mum did come and rescue me, but I was only one town away. It was an 8-mile walk as a whole to get from that town to my hometown, where I was going to walk to my parents' house, and my mum was going to take me home anyway. That was always the goal, the aim, all that sort of stuff. But I kept walking in circles because like the path, the nature trail cuts off at some points because roads go through it, and so it has to rejoin on. And I don't know if I was getting on at the wrong point, but I kept walking around. So I was walking. So then I saw like there was an exit onto a road, right? Let's just call it Jim Bob Road, right? So I was walking down the nature trail, and I saw an exit with a gate that said Jim Bob Road, right? So I was like, all right. So I carried on walking, and it came to the end of the trail, right? Well, not the end of the trail, but a road cut through it, right? So then I walked what I thought was to then carry on the trail, right? And so I got back onto the trail, and I think I may have, now thinking about it, I know at which point I went the wrong way, because I got distracted by a cat. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I got distracted by a cat. And so I think I got back on the path, and I kept walking, and then I was right back, and I walked past, and it said Jim Bob Road again. And I felt like, what's the Groundhog Day? No, I felt really fever dreamish for a while, because I was like, I've been here before. And so I was like, you know what? I did that about twice, actually. That same sort of thing. So no, then I walked it again, and then I walked up a road then. I walked up a road, and it said to carry on this path, you have to go up this road. So I was like, maybe I made the wrong turn. So I went up this road, which was still in the same direction, but instead of carrying on to the trail, I kind of went up the road. But I think it just took me to the exact same place, because I ended up on the bench outside of the sign that said Jim Bob Road. And then I could see the bit of the trail that I was on, where I'd walked past, and it said Jim Bob Road. I was like, so I sat on that bench, right? And I was like, Mother, please come and get me. She had offered earlier on in the day. I was texting her. I was like, remember, I'm going on that walk today. Are you still good for taking me home later when I eventually get to your house? She goes, yeah, of course, I remember. If you get too tired, because like, can I get it up? Can I get it up? Right, no, I'll put it here. Right, no, I'll put it here of how much I've walked in a year. And then June, I walked this on the 2nd of June, right? And how much it's shot up. How much, like, it's like July, August, September, so on and so forth. And then just June is like up here. Because I've never walked that much in my life, ever. Like, I got so many awards on my watch. I was like, biggest walk you've ever done, Alex. And today is Friday, and I've only just been able to walk again. I was in agony. I haven't recorded for 2 days. So, finally finished everything today. So that was the whole story of why it took me over a week to do all this stuff, because I've been in absolute pain. I couldn't sit on the floor, couldn't do anything. Yesterday I had to do a food shop. I had nothing in, absolutely nothing in, because I would usually do a food shop maybe once a week and just get the essentials in and keep my fridge replenished like that. But I literally couldn't even walk, my lovelies. I couldn't. Mum was like, do you want to go shopping today? Because my mum takes me, helps me, supports me, helps, all that sort of stuff. And I was like, no, she goes, you're gonna have to go, Alex, you're gonna have to go. So yesterday I struggled. So yeah, I'll remember to put that in. Actually, I'll screenshot it on my health app. I was like, oh my god. Did obviously remember to put it as a workout on my watch though. So anyway, can we look at all these letters, everybody? Look at them all. Let me gather them all up. I was trying to put them in some sort of cohesive order. Can't remember what the other letters were for, but they don't match these ones anyway. I think they look quite cool. My tripod is breaking. It keeps snapping in half, and so I have to keep shoving it back on. But there's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and like a dark bluey purple colour. Don't know what colour you would call that. There's not one letter per colour of the alphabet. Like, I don't think there's a blue A, for example. I just kind of I remember splitting them up into just equal amounts of letters, so there wasn't two. There is 2 V's though that are yellow, I think, or 2 orange V's. The orange paint, I had quite a lot of issues with the orange paint. Oh, look at that focus. I don't know if you can see it, it just looks dirty. Like, it's the one that's more noticeable. It's quite noticeable on the thing. It's not like I've put just as many coats on this as there was on the other colours. But it's just dirty, because every time I painted with it, even though it was the exact same paintbrush I used on, let's say, the yellow, that doesn't have them on. I just like that whole focusing thing my camera can do, where it doesn't have like the dirty sort of effect to it. Like, these are obviously falling out of my hands. These are like fine, but then the orange ones, I remember this being a problem when I first got the paints. Actually, they just had these, you might be able to pick it up on the time lapse actually, just like these streaks that ran through it, and it just made the paint look really dirty. So I hated doing the orange. Actually, it just makes it look like there's not enough. That's a well, it's not a good one, but it's a good one for proof of what I mean by it. It's kind of got these like black marks on it. Don't know what was happening there, everyone. So I do kind of like the blue colour. That's a good shade of blue. And so there's about 20 of each colour, lots of and symbols. Don't actually really know what I'm going to use these for. Was going to Mod Podge them, like I literally have my Mod Podge here. But like, I don't really want to Mod Podge them because I don't know what I'm going to use them for. I might put some on a box and then Mod Podge the box, for example. And then like Mod Podge them also as a kind of like a sealant. But I don't want to kind of Mod Podge it all and then I just think it'll make them like really bulky and uneven to like, because I want them to be able to lay flat on something, you know what I mean? If I put Mod Podge on it, it'll create like a not flat texture. You'll be able to like, you know what I mean? So I don't think I'm going to Mod Podge them as a separate entity, like each one individually, because if I put it down, it's going to get stuck. I don't have any like a laminated sort of surface to kind of put them on to dry. So they're just going to end up getting stuck to paper, and I'm going to repaint them all. And I've ruined a lot of things in my life with Mod Podge, like a lot of paintings and stuff, so I'm just going to leave it. I do have a box there, which I might put some words on or something, and then Mod Podge the whole box with the letters on top. Might do that. But these are just 2 very separate projects. Sad I didn't do them cross stitch, but I just didn't know how to do it. There you go, I just didn't know how to do it, so that's that. Hope everybody enjoyed watching this little video. I haven't done the time lapse or the voiceover yet, so I don't really know what all that's about. Maybe I can make a thumbnail out of these letters, actually. Maybe I can do that, I don't know yet, but hope everybody enjoyed. I'm not enjoying this hair though. It just needs to grow a bit, actually, just a little bit. It's just because I look like a mushroom. I keep saying to my mum, I look like a mushroom. I have ordered like £20 hair mousse because it's meant to be really good for volumizing. Because the picture I showed the woman, this isn't the woman that usually cuts my hair, you see. The last haircut I got like in October was, I liked that haircut. Like that was, I cried with happiness over that haircut. Haven't cried with sadness over this haircut because I'm not sad over it. It just doesn't look right. It just doesn't look like me, right? But it's shorter, so it'll grow. You know what I mean? It's better getting it cut short, in my opinion. Better getting it cut short, as long as you haven't got like a special event you've got to go to like that day or that week, and you've got time to let it grow before like you've got to do anything like important. I haven't got anything important to do, but very few people are going to see me like this anyway. I say that as I'm making a video that can be viewed by the world, but it isn't viewed by the world, is it? No. So I don't really care. And I'm not really that self-conscious about my hair anyway. Like, it's just, well, anyway. But it's better being too short for then, because the way that I like my hair is when it's grown a bit. Like, you can't get it cut the way I like it. It has to grow into it. So it's best to get it cut too short for it to then grow into a nice style than for it to be cut like either perfect or slightly too long and then for it to never get to that nice style again. You know what I mean? I know what I mean. I talk too much. I have drank a whole bottle of Lucozade today, actually. Only a small bottle, though. I got it in a meal deal yesterday after my shopping trip. But yeah. Feeling better now. Letters are painted. So we're all fine and dandy. I'm going to finally work on another video now. A video I'm actually really, really excited to make. This was kind of just a video of leftover projects that I knew I had to get done. And I thought, let's film it because I like watching things. Because like I'll look back and I'll be like, oh, I remember when this was not coloured. You know what I mean? I'll be like, oh, how fun. Maybe I'm just a really sentimental person. I never used to be. Like, I've always been like, I'm a minimalist. I don't do sentimental things at all. But like, I think I'm kind of losing that aspect. Not my minimalismness, because I think that even just as a small trait in my life is always going to be there. But I think I'm becoming more sentimental as I'm getting older, and like I like to look at things back and to, you know, what's the word, keep things, like sentimental things, more so than when I was a kid. I don't know, maybe it's just the trauma of life that I've been through and I'm like, oh, I could lose anybody at any minute, and like I want to hold on to anything and everyone, you know. That got deep. These videos always get deep. Like, I'm literally painting letters, Alex, honestly. Anyway, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.